Hey, Jesus, can you hear me? Hello?
Sorry, I hear you. I was muted.
Okay, cool.
All right, so let me open that guide again. See if I can make it work. All right, so let's start by installing the tools.
So I think all you have to do is pip install Boofuzz.
Yeah, I want to be following the guide.
Okay, cool.
Here, server only valid. Okay, so we're gonna be creating a file. So that's it. Then I'm gonna go to my buffer overflow. Also, right. So let's create the Boofuzz 5, and then wait a second. It says here. Okay. So this is the server. I'm gonna run import 444. If I do Python, Boofuzz, and then 444. What is that other thing?
What do you mean?
The link that you copied?
Oh, that's just the documentation on Boofuzz. There's just like some very extensive documentation, so it's some good information in case you run into any issues like setting anything up.
Okay. All right. So this is just like a server that's listening on that port, but that's not a web interface or anything.
No, this is something else. When you actually have it up and running, there's actually a web interface.
Got it. Cool. So you run it, and it says teach Boofuzz about the hello command. Action. Okay. It says in order to fuse the hello command, we need to teach Boofuzz first to interact with the Boofuzz server.
So Jesus, the article that you're looking at is just some random example of somebody trying to do something. But if you check the link that I just sent you, the last one there, where it says Boofuzz Network Protocol Fuzzing for Humans.
Yep.
Do you see where it says Quick Start?
Yep.
So this is actually the part that we would be using, where once we import the module, we would basically write the Python script using the import from Boofuzz, and then we could start initializing variables and stuff like that.
Got it. Okay. So let's do that then. Tiny protocol definition function. Session object is the center of the full session. When you create it, you'll pass a target object. It's obviously the connection object, for example. Okay, got it. So let's do. me see. So I'm gonna start creating the script.
Okay.
It should be Boofuzz. I'm just gonna test if it's working.
Okay.
Using Python. No, Python. Yeah, it does work. So we do have it in the library. Why is this not working though? All right, so and then I'm gonna create the session.
Okay. Also, a quick question, Jesus. What's the difference between doing import from Boofuzz and then you do the asterisk as opposed to doing import Boofuzz?
Oh, well, the difference is that if I do this,
Mm-hmm.
then every time I use any variable from or any function from Boofuzz, I need to do Boofuzz dot method, right? Whatever. So
Okay.
the other way is to do from, so import asterisk from Boofuzz. Then I can just use the name of the method directly.
Oh, okay, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Another way you can do it is you can do import Boofuzz as, BF, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can use BF and
As yeah, BF dot the and then the okay,
whatever method exists.
okay, that makes sense. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I'm actually gonna do it like this. I like to use the name of the library that I'm using, because that way if you have two methods with the same name, they don't overlap. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay, that makes sense.
So okay. So session equals session, and then here you have to specify target equal target connection, and then the IP address of the target, right? So here, why don't we do this? Why don't we, kind of like going through this. I'm thinking, why don't I use the code that I use for the fusser? So
Mm-hmm.
let's do the fusser, and then I'm gonna add it to this one, and then just work from there, because there's plenty of stuff that I already did here that might work.
Okay.
So for example, let's see, I probably don't need this two, don't need this two, I don't need this, but this I would like to use, right?
Okay.
And then, so I can still use my port, my IP, my port.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need the increment and all that, so I can just do this, right? And then the argument size is gonna be 2. And okay, I get target port, and after this, I can do the section, and then here I specify it will be target and it will be
Port.
port, right?
Okay.
So a little better, and then I can remove these lines. I don't need this, I need this, need this. All right. So after this, I really don't need anything else. So
Okay.
just want to remove everything else, and then paste this right here, and then say, okay, what do I need to do? All right. So what were the commands that we were allowed to use, right?
So it was Trun.
Yeah, I just want to see Even.
Oh yeah, when you connect what you can do with it. Okay.
So what was the name? The IP address on? I think it was.
The IP was 9999.
The port, right?
Yeah, the port. Sorry.
88128. No, 881. Okay. So the commands will be this right here. I'm just gonna copy them. I'm just gonna copy this whole thing. I'm gonna type it here. So, all right. The initialize user. We understand initialize function. Here's the message. Okay. So what does that mean? Initialize.
So I believe that's the first string that it sends to establish once it establishes that connection.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, let me double check and find out. Let me check the documentation now.
So it says connection again. Implement. IT target select connection. I almost have the connection set up. Oh, okay. So I guess this is just a name that you give it. So let's say this is gonna be the stats one.
Mm-hmm.
The string will be stats, and then the string should be static actually. It should be static. Right, let's try it this way. So the limiter and then anonymous will be a valid value, 10. And then initialize, the next one will be our time. Maybe time. Yes, and then how I get bored of this. All right, so let's do something very basic right now.
Mm-hmm.
With just one command. So I'm gonna do it with one command, and then we can
See how it works from there.
yeah. So I'm just gonna copy this into my Right, so the only command that I'm gonna use, it's gonna be the one that we exploited, which was tron.
Tron. Yeah.
Tron, and then here's gonna be tron, and then here, whatever, like 10, 10, 10. Because if I do tron 10, that's complete.
Okay.
So that,
Wait, aren't we supposed to put the A's in the value in the 10 instead, or doesn't make a difference?
are we supposed to do what?
So you see how under s_string you put 10.
Uh-huh.
So I'm wondering, is this where we should start putting our A's?
Yeah, it doesn't matter as long as it's a valid parameter. So
Okay.
yeah, we can. Yeah, I guess what you're saying is that here is where. What does that mean that it will take the A's there to know that that's what's going to fuzz?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was confused about. I don't know if it's just like sending random data or.
All right, I don't know, but let's put A's. Let's see what
Okay.
happens. And then there is a quit here that I don't know if the. Well, let's try this first.
Okay.
Well, then we basically just need to establish the session by doing tron, which I guess is the name of this function right here, tron. And then we need to type the session fuzz.
Okay.
Which enables the session. So I think that's it. Let's try it.
Okay.
All right, so C is not defined. Okay, yeah, because I didn't define here. Okay, so I have several problems here. So the first one is that I'm using these methods without specifying the BF. That's gonna break. I'm gonna do then, just for now, import asterisk from Boofuzz and then import sys.
Okay.
Otherwise, that's gonna break here. Let's see if that works.
Oh, maybe it's supposed to be at the end. I think it's import Boofuzz from asterisk. That's what I saw at least.
That's weird. That's weird. Let me see. Oh no, it's the other way. It's from.
Oh, okay.
From Boofuzz import asterisk. That's it. Okay, and then I need to type here the IP address, which is 192.168.80.128. 128. Then the port, which is 999. All right, so then it gives me an error that says name session is not defined. Right, so let's do here. So basically, it's telling me that's failing to find the session. All right, so maybe let's just do import. Let's see if this works. So session is an object that we create
Okay.
that's basically looking for, has these inputs. It has something that's called a target.
Mm-hmm.
And then the target is another object that I can't even call it here. So just for clarity, I want to do it this way. Target info. So that's my target. So target is gonna be the same as connection. It's kind of like complicated. Uh, so connection is socket connection,
Mm-hmm.
and then target needs connection, and then session needs target. That's basically what target connection. So the socket connection, I think socket connection must be a function from BF. And then target, it's a function of BF and BF session. Okay, I think that should work. Let's see.
Okay.
Then session, it already has already there. Okay, I don't know if it will work, but yeah. So it says module object has no attribute socket connection. Module object has no attribute socket connection. So where is that socket connection coming from? The session object, it's centered in the session. Romeo, no, I will not play with you. Session object already done makes sense. I'm going through the. Oh, I think they changed. Oh, one second.
No problem.
Socket connection. Oh, you see, this is the documentation. So
Yeah.
the class is called Boofuzz,
Mm-hmm.
and there is IT target connection,
Mm-hmm.
and then they also have socket connection.
Okay.
So I'm doing Boofuzz as BF that socket connection, which should be the socket connection. And then I'm specifying target. Oh, I have a problem here. Specifying target once. So let's call it IP. And then here, target IP. Okay, and then basically it's an object inside of an object and so on.
Okay.
So I mean, I want to simplify this, honestly. I'm just going to remove this and see if we can make it work without any of that. And then I should make it work by doing the import from import. This should work. Definitely. Okay, so it says now that socket connection is not defined. Let's see, Python Oh, I see what's happening. I got a disaster here. So when you specify, when the file that I have is called Boofuzz. So when I'm importing, I'm not actually importing anything because the same, I use the same name of the library.
Oh, okay.
Is to Boofuzz, Boofuzzer. I'm gonna call it Boofuzzer. Now it's gonna work. So Boofuzzer. So that's the reason why I was failing Boofuzz import.
Oh, so when the names are the same, it's gonna import something else?
Yeah, if I have a file in the same folder that's called Boofuzz, it's gonna load this file,
Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
Rather than going all the way. It's like when you have that issue with DLLs, remember?
Yeah, yeah. I remember.
DLL injection, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
injecting a library here by yourself. Okay, so let's see if now it works. All right, so now it gave me a different error, which is that the file doesn't exist because it doesn't exist. All right, now give me another error, says need string or buffer, target found. Okay, target found. So here, all right, so I'm gonna leave it as it was before. I'm gonna leave it as it was before. I just wanted to understand how it worked.
No
But
problem.
I'm gonna leave it up the same way as it was. I have a problem there with the syntax. And then here I'm gonna type again target IP and then port. Okay. So right. There you go.
So what did you oh, okay, I see. So basic okay.
All right. So what's happening is this is what I ended up using. This is my script. I'm gonna put it here. Actually, I'm gonna just send you the file.
Thank you.
So how much time is that gonna take? No clue, but
Yeah, because it's basically gonna be like fuzzing everything.
yeah.
Is the application
So
still
what I
running?
don't like is that you see that right now it's fuzzing the command. So that's something I don't like. So right now it was basically fuzzing the trunk command, which you shouldn't. So that's what I was thinking, that we have to type this static here, then the delimiter, and
Because
then
we only want to fuzz the A that
yeah,
okay. Yeah.
yeah. I think that's better. Right, so I just stopped it to see what's actually being transmitted. So they are actually trying to play with the delimiter too. They are changing the delimiter At least it's sending always the same thing, but
Yeah.
still playing with the delimiter. That might not be what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. So right now it's sending this, right? Right, cool. So right now it's kind of sending what I want. You see what it's sending?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if this at least like is able to crash the application and give us some information on that, at least that way it'll help us isolate and know what exactly. Remember how yesterday we were trying to find out how we would have determined that the trun semicolon / values was what we need to crash the application.
Yeah. But this is the you
Oh,
see,
it did crash it.
it
Yeah.
did crash it yet, but the program is not detecting that it did.
Hmm.
You see,
Oh, so it did or didn't detect it?
it didn't detect. So I think what we need to do
Mm-hmm.
is two things. The first thing, I don't really need a delimiter here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just need a space and that's it. And then the second thing is I would like to send a quit. So this is the first command, and then I want to close the connection. Like, I don't know, should I?
So basically, close it and resend it again.
Yeah. I don't know if it's worth it, but let's see again. Let's see what happens. Because it's not, right, so here it's testing. And a bunch of stuff. See, the application crashed really fast,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not detecting that it crashed.
Yeah, it keeps going until after that.
Yeah. So the way to detect it, you need to close the connection.
Mm-hmm.
So let's send after that, let's send a quit adding. Let's review it. Hmm. You see, the delimiter is fusible.
Yeah.
That I don't want it. And then the strings are also ASCII characters,
Mm-hmm.
are fusible. So my question is, if S blocks are headers, yeah, so these guys did the same thing.
Okay. Oh, this is a different link?
Yeah. So they say here crash threshold equal 2, target equal T. Initialize request. Yeah, so okay. They actually do the same thing that we're doing.
Oh, they're doing the same thing too?
Mm-hmm.
The same application phone server?
Yep.
Okay, nice. So this would be a really good example then.
Okay, so this is what we want. I want to look at the callbacks.
Okay.
So every time we perform this, execute something, we want to look at the callback to see if we're getting something, right? So the callback, it's get banner, target my lower session. All right. Got it. So it seems like the application is not meant to tell you when it breaks.
Okay.
know what I'm saying? So it doesn't, it's not capable enough to tell you, of telling you when it breaks on its own. So you have to create a callback yourself. So this is the callback. I'm just gonna copy and paste it. I don't want to create it, but so basically this is the code. Oh, and then here, here. And let's call that get banner, right? So get banner is this one, and then the banner is basically taking the banner, taking oh, how do it get the target value? Where it puts it? Where does it come from? Says banner equal target of receive.
I think maybe he declares it like at the very like he just declares the values from the very beginning,
So
right?
target's coming from here. Yeah, because it's being run inside of the session that the session already have a target declared. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And then the my logger, it's declared here. And then this is just a log file. So how is this working? This is your CSV log equal open, da, 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 and then my logger, it's first logger CSV file. Log. So what I do is log check receive banner, if banner template in banner receive. Unable to connect to the target zone, exiting. Okay, got it. So this is also important. I'm gonna add it here, and okay, so the main code is gonna be right. So that's the main code. Where is it? So there are several ways how you can do this.
Mm-hmm.
You can do static, you can do string, and then define that it's not fusible.
Mm-hmm.
Up to you. So
So from what we've been doing here so far, would you say that using something like this is more practical than like the regular way we did it the first time, where we just manually enumerated and we're fuzzing it with a
well,
really short script?
I think the only thing that this is actually providing us is
Mm-hmm.
basically the simplicity of declaring it in this way when
Mm-hmm.
sending the data, and also the generation of the generation of code.
Okay.
So the generation of the string.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that's actually adding. And
Okay.
then having the logs, it's gonna be key. Having this callback is gonna be key because otherwise you won't be able to tell
When the application crashes.
when the application crashes correctly.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why it's so important to have that section there. You see session fuzz.
Mm-hmm.
So the callback is basically taking an exception when it's not working, and it's running this, executing this, trying
Okay.
to get this template,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then it says basically try to get the banner, right? And then if it's not able to get any banner, then it will tell exit one, which there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's gonna log receiving banner then,
Okay.
and then it's gonna say if banner template in banner, right? So that means that it was trying to get a banner because that was successful,
Mm-hmm.
and then if got the banner, right? It's gonna log banner received. So
Mm-hmm.
that means it's working, right? And then
Okay.
if the banner template is not the same as the banner, it's gonna say no banner received,
Okay.
which is not really accurate because maybe you did receive a banner, it's just
Mm-hmm.
that it doesn't look the same. So maybe you
Okay.
did receive a banner, but it's not the one that you were expecting.
Okay.
And then it's gonna print no banner received exiting, and then it exits,
Okay.
which is good because this exit allows us to uh, break the application from continuing,
Okay.
right? And you know that's what it's doing. So let me try. So before I try, let me double check something. Let me double check that I'm using all that's what I need to. Target IP, okay, port. Then I specify my session here, and then it does its thing. Do you make it run?
Not yet. I was just watching what you were doing just to make sure I understand it.
Okay, got it. Okay. So, didn't work. Oh, maybe it's not loading. No, something else is failing. Oh yeah, I know. I didn't specify anything to run because I did the main here. I
Mm-hmm.
declared this as the main. Now I need to do if people um, main.
That last line that you just did, what does that mean?
So when the program is running,
Mm-hmm.
basically this is a definition of a function. So this is
Okay.
now the main function of the Python script. This is
Okay.
another definition of another function, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then what I'm doing here, so if I run the script, it doesn't do anything because there's no running code. It's basically just definition of functions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what I do here is this is how you make the program know that if you are just running this program right from a
Mm-hmm.
Python from a
Mm-hmm.
script, right, it will try to look for the main component, and then if that happens, you want it to run main.
Okay, got it.
So it's kind of like a weird thing that is how it connects to it.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you see now it says check on banner received. You see that's it.
So now it tells you that the application is crashed.
Yeah. So basically every time it's running, it's looking for the banner. If there's no banner, then it doesn't show anything. Like it's not working. So it basically it's telling me that's failing. It failed when it sent this, which is what we know works, right?
Yeah, which we know that works.
Yep. Basically it failed with this value.
Ah, interesting. So the interesting thing here is that it looks like it's saying that it sent 46 bytes, but it was still able to crash the application.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. So it's not the crash is not a buffer overflow.
Vulnerability.
It's not a buffer overflow based on the amount of data you're sending. It's
It's
basically it's failing with a specific kind of character.
okay. Hmm.
You see?
Yeah, I see it.
So yeah, it's after you type this, then the next thing is okay, how much more data can you send over, right? That will override whatever. So I guess this is just telling you that you were able to crash it because of the special character, and then you can start maybe playing with what's happening after that.
Okay.
So let's look at the code. Let's look at the community debugger. My Windows is not responding. It crashed the whole computer, man. It crashed the whole computer. I'm gonna just restart, I guess.
We might have found a whole nother vulnerability.
Yeah. Well, but it was fun. It was fun to test.
Yeah.
And I
By the
guess,
way, can you send that script?
yeah. And then we can maybe use the same thing for the others. So we could try to implement it for another command. So let's do ks10, for example. So before I do that, I'm gonna verify what actually happens.
Yeah.
I want to see what's happened with Tron. You see, it broke right here. It broke right here.
Yeah, and it actually overrode it with the. Interesting. So this
Yeah.
time it actually stopped. Yeah, you see that it actually stopped, and it gave the exact value that's crashing the application.
Where?
Did you change anything in the code?
No.
Because
Nothing.
previously it was giving us different information, and this time it gave us 5,013 bytes instead. Which is pretty cool.
Well, basically, the tool just tries something new.
Because this definitely wasn't what we saw a few minutes ago, right?
No, no.
Okay.
So it's sending. So I guess first of all, the tool is not always sending things in order, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to know.
Mm-hmm.
And then saving. So it was very fast. Would it be that it stores some information somewhere?
Maybe. What happens if you run it again?
Hmm, let's see. You see it has bus resorts. Yeah, well, I think it does create some sort of database.
Interesting.
So it already knows. There's nothing in cost results though. But it does have information in here, some sort of databases. So it does have some sort of database already, which is
That
good.
it references. Okay, this is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So if I run it again,
I think we got to reset the application.
yeah,
Yep, it finds it that yeah.
it breaks it really fast.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is pretty nice.
And
Yep,
then
and it
everywhere.
overwrites the EIP with the 414141. Yeah.
All right, so let's do something. I'm gonna restart it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to remove the database. And then I'm gonna try it again.
It still finds it pretty quickly.
That's weird. Unless it stored that information somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Actually, let me run it now since I haven't run it yet. Let me see how fast it finds it.
Oh crap! I removed. I erased it.
The script?
Yeah. And I have to
Dude, dude.
download. So yeah, it does work really good.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, for me too. It finds it really, really quickly. Wow, this thing is really nice. I guess the problem is just, I guess, debugging it and understanding. Like, the difference here is that you were able to understand what was happening and modify the script to make it do what you needed it to do.
yeah. So I'm gonna try with case stand now.
Okay.
See what happens. Oh, so there's another thing that you can do, which is doing some process monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
So far what we have been monitoring is basically we have been um, analyzing the network traffic,
Mm-hmm.
trying to do like when it crashes, we do another connection. But
Mm-hmm.
there is another way, which is doing process monitoring. So in that case, it says here that you can do a connection. So you
Mm-hmm.
specify the socket connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you set up a process monitoring. So the process monitoring is going to be a RDP, RPC session
Mm-hmm.
with the same host, different port,
Mm-hmm.
and then process options. This is the name of the server. And then this is the command to stop the process, to start the process.
Mm.
Try. Hmm. So, but this one you have to be running Python directly from the same host.
Oh, okay. That allows you to monitor the actual process. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, in theory, you could do it remotely too,
Mm-hmm.
but they are trying it locally. They're trying it. But I think the most important was to do the callbacks.
Okay.
The
So
callback,
that's what's going to tell us when the application crashes.
yeah, that's a good way of telling the application crashed. So they do here, they test the H tier command. Oh, okay. So this is what I'm not doing.
So I was fooling around with the script here, and it looks like it doesn't matter what value I put in the string. If you know how we put a for the strings.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because it seems like it's fuzzing that anyways. I think it does matter is you wanna put something there that will work. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Oh, I see what's happening.
Give me 1 second, Jesus. I'll be right back. Hey, Jesus.
Yeah.
Um, so I was just taking a look at your screen, and I noticed that you had a whole bunch of C's. Did you change anything specific to have the values be overwritten with C's instead?
Nope.
So it's just random?
Yep. So the C's are because these programs send C's. 2053 bytes.
Interesting.
Now, the other thing that I noticed is, okay, it broke the application with those C's and all that. That's good. Now, so it seems like you will still have to create your own script
Mm-hmm.
to then kind of like play with it a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah. But this at least lets us know that what can be fuzzed. So it looks like for the HTER command, you can fuzz it with 2053 bytes. So theoretically speaking, if we were to just say HTER times C, C times 2053, and we sent it to the application, theoretically we could probably crash it there too, right?
Yeah, so if we do BoF exploit, and we do what was it? Um, it's there, HTER. So what was the size?
It was 2000 something bytes. We have to check and make sure. I think it was 2053 bytes. Yeah, 2053.
Boom. Yep.
Oh, so yeah, we sent that same amount of bytes, right? Nice. So
Well,
technically
I mean,
speaking, we can probably probably do the buffer overflow for that one too, right?
yeah. It
Nice.
doesn't really matter. I exploited it with 3000. Like I sent a buffer of 3000.
Mm-hmm.
Still work.
Okay.
But I guess the main thing is that now you know that you can exploit HTR,
Mm-hmm.
too, right? So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I guess that's a good part.
Yeah, because now we have another vector, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. I definitely need to play around with this more because I want to understand how the script works next. So that way, if I run into a case where I have something else, I can always modify the script to work with what I needed to do.
Yeah. So what we can do is just keep exploiting different things, and then
With the
use
same, yeah.
yeah. So just keep exploring other programs.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So something that I was reading about that it's possible is to basically go to something that someone said was you can go to GitHub
Mm-hmm,
and do a special search.
mm-hmm.
Do a search like uh, FTP server. Where is it? Oh, GitHub. Oh, server. Oh. Yep. So we can do something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all FTP servers implementation
Okay.
that people have used that are not, like
Secure.
not not just secure, but kind of like they are public or they are not implemented.
Okay. Okay. So we can fuzz something like that and see if there's any buffer overflow exploits on it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, this is cool.
What? Not seeking for work data scraper. Automatic collection of thousands of images for the following. Some people have a lot of time on their hands.
Yeah, there are cool projects here all the time. I guess that's why Microsoft bought it, because he wanted to know who's typing what.
That makes sense.
Oh, I think I'm gonna do that later. I need to spend some time working on some other stuff, but this was cool, really cool.
Yeah. This is really cool. I'm glad we found this.
Yeah, cool. So we got a new trick we can
Yeah.
use for, so if we, so in the end I didn't like to use the logger.
Mm-hmm.
This functionality I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
I would just do this, and then I don't think we need this. My logger, nothing we need there, but this. Where is this coming from? I don't do it. I wonder if it's gonna work without that. That's why.
But it doesn't seem to stop anymore, right?
No, it does stop. It's just that it has to go through a lot to get.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Because I'm going after the HTR.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Now the other question is, can we use, for example, several of them? So let's say that we want to crash.
Use multiple at the same time.
Yeah, I guess it won't work because you have to, like, if it fails, it's gonna just end,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Interesting. And because when it runs, it creates a folder and like puts all of the
Yeah, so what it does is basically creates a database.
that it can reference basically.
Yeah, these are the database that it creates by default. So
Okay.
what you do with the false results, it's you basically store the data in that file rather than in the database.
Okay.
But I prefer to look at it as it's happening.
See it in real time. Yeah.
Yeah.
One other thing that I think it does that I'm not sure if it's useful or not, but if you run it again against the HTER,
Hmm.
if you run the script one more time,
Yeah, something I want to try to is this space, and then here was oh, let me see if that was the link possible. I just want to see if there's any difference between doing that or this.
what that S underscore delum, what does that do?
Delimiter.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's any difference here of doing. So what this means when it's a string, just push a string to a BoF. So the other thing is, let's initialize. Factories. Okay. Okay. So okay, stand, stand. So what do you want me to do?
No. I was just. It says that apparently, while it's running, you can listen on a web page. So if you open up like a web page
Huh?
while you're running it, apparently, like you can see like a live feed of the same thing via a web page.
But which web page should I open?
So just open up any web browser, and if you go to localhost, I think it's like localhost import 26,000. Yeah, and you run the script while that's happening. Apparently, it's supposed to show you like a live feed of it or something.
All right, let's try that. Yep.
Oh, nice. And I'm wondering, once it hits the actual portion that crashes the application, if it shows any readable output here.
Let's see. So we're going after H there.
Yeah.
Jeez, okay.
Oh, you can pause it from there too. Nice.
84 out of 1,000. Best case log.
Okay, so it seems like it crashed, but nothing else. I don't see anything else showing on this.
Yeah, and then because it crashed, probably stopped working.
Oh, okay. It literally only runs while it's okay. That makes sense. But I don't see anything of value on that other one besides being able to pause and unpause it.
Yeah, and then to see how it's doing, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's more valuable when you are running also the process monitoring piece.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because there you basically, the program stops and it starts the service. on its
Mm-hmm,
own.
mm-hmm.
So
Okay, that makes sense.
that I think that's also interesting to test.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna fool around with this some more too to see if it works.
Mhm. So there, I think I saw more of this in Sully,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. I think like even though this one was easy,
Mm-hmm.
I think what I've read of Sully, it's actually more powerful.
Then this,
Yeah,
because I think this is built off of Sully. Like they stopped supporting Sully.
I know, but still, like I don't know if it's that I don't know how to do everything yet, but
So you've used Sully before?
yeah, I was reading the book that I show you,
Oh, the
and
Great Hat Python. Okay.
yeah, and I was playing with that, and Sully has like it monitors the traffic,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of like an I don't know, it's different.
I'm gonna check that one out too.
Now, the other thing that I notice here, so notice that the only way we're testing that the connection is failing is because of the callback where we're doing a manual process of checking the header.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I'm expecting not having to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it should be
Like
an easier way to do that. Yeah.
it should be kind of like, okay, just do it for me. Because
Mm-hmm.
then it means that for every application I'm testing, I need to have a way of validating.
Identifying when it crashes.
Yeah. So that's what I want to avoid.
Okay.
So even though there's no more, you know, work development on Sule, that doesn't mean that's not being used because
Yeah.
I mean maybe it's just so good that it doesn't require.
That's probably a good point.
Yeah, I mean I can tell you that if you read the book,
Mm-hmm.
um, there's a lot. Oh, see,
The same thing, right?
this is what you can see there.
Oh, okay, okay.
You see that stuff about the process monitoring.
Yeah. So once you set that up, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's supposed to fail, restart the process and continue,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can move around from case to case
Okay, that makes
of
sense.
what broke the system. Yeah, but I saw the same functionality in Solid.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. All right, I'm gonna.
Probably we just need to like probably if it's a fork, that means that if I go into I learn more about Solid,
Mm-hmm.
most likely whatever I'm looking in Solid, it's already
In the new one, yeah.
I just need to learn how to use it. That's what I think is happening.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right, I'm gonna call it a night.
Okay.
All right, thanks again.
Bye.
All right, bye.